Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to RDNA. I am Mr. Williams, and I'm just gonna take a couple quick minutes to unpack a little something that was like heavy on social yesterday, and that was a rant that Lil Boosie had went on in regards to Dwayne Wade's support of his son coming out as transgender, underage son coming out as transgender, and Boosie has some strong words to say, some strong opinions, and I'm not. I didn't really come out here to disagree with Lil Boosie. You know what I'm saying? It kind of seemed like he jumped out the window a little bit with his comments or whatever, but just as a father of sons and a daughter, and first and foremost on the softening of our kids or the lessening of the black male image, you know, um, I don't necessarily buy that. You know what I'm saying? That's not really necessarily my school of thought. You hear a lot of arguments about, debates about, the actors wearing dresses for movie roles, black actors wearing dresses for movie roles, and this, that, and the third. And I guess those arguments are made in the context of a historical lens, as far as the things that African Americans had to put up with to be able to thrive in entertainment genre. Um, but before that, I'm gonna get to what Lil Boosie said. Like, I get what he's saying. I think a lot of people will feel that way. Like, you wouldn't want to, you wouldn't want to have your 12-year-old boy, son, dressing, as the opposite gender. Even if you support their, the internal feelings, but I feel like a lot of what I would say to my son is like, okay, son, I understand, where you coming from, and I don't use the term son to, make light of the situation, but I would say to my sons that, look, I understand where you coming from, I support you, but as it stands right now, while you're underage, we want you to dress in the gender associated with your physical sex. Like, whatever that means. Because at the end of the day, I understand the school of thought that clothes is just clothes. You know, the only problem with that is that typically dudes tend to choose to wear guy clothes and females tend to wear female clothes. And then you have some people that dress a little bit more masculine or a little bit more feminine than others. But that's a touchy subject. But as a parent, I mean, I feel like every parent would do the same thing. I mean, there's some parents that would, berate their kid and have a whole lot of extra stuff to say. Like, I mean, I'm not that kind of parent. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't berate my kid. I support my kid, but I would let it be known that, okay, we're not going to do this right now. But as you get older, we'll see, because you still got time. So we're not going to make forever decisions when you're 12. Not unless it's life or death. You know, so I feel like that's simple. As far as Dwayne Wade and his family, shit ain't really my business. We can have opinions. Like, our opinions are cool, but sometimes your opinion ain't adding nothing to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody say you got to come out and support the situation, but man, like, Boosie kind of jumped out the window. It was like it was way like, he kind of jumped out the window. You know, with the with his reaction. And like I said, last time I'm pretty sure that D Ways and Gabrielle Union's support of Zaya, I'm sure that don't cause Lil Boosie any harm or anybody else out there who feels super duper strong. And like I said, I understand your opinions, but guess what? That's not your kid. That's not your call to make. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no laws been broken. But first and foremost, I think what every parent want to do is support their kid and make sure their kid is functioning. Granted, not all of us are gonna say, okay, son, go dress up in this dress if that's how you feel today. Like, nah, we're gonna do that when you walking in that truth yourself. When you're old enough for that. But we're not gonna do it beforehand. We're not gonna we're not gonna ask everybody else in our lives to get on board with this. We're not gonna do that. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's hiding or anything. I think that's like, okay, word. And you approach that as a family, but there's no abandoning. I don't have to berate my child, or if your kid come out as like, oh, I'm gay, I like boys, or I like girls. You don't dismiss your kid. You don't run your kid off. You know what I'm saying? You offer support. Um, we let these upbringings and stuff that's just been kind of passed on down the line. We let that govern how we think. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm just not gonna do that, because I think the power to process is right there. It's all right there in your purview for you to do for yourself. Um, but that's just my 2 cents. Mr. Williams, RDNA. Have a good one. Peace.